initiative.
All right, everybody. We are into session 29 of Descent into Fernia, and it's been a while. Does anybody remember enough to give a recap?
I was not here for the last session.
I think we were leveling up right at the end. That's what I remember.
Yeah.
We only got an arm's worth of experience.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Ewan lost his arm and everybody else ate it, and that's how we leveled up.
How very District 9 of you guys.
Tony's absolutely confusing me with his chat name. I'm like, what? Wait a second. Am I right? Wait a second. Maybe we did level up.
So yeah, basically, just to kind of give a little bit more backtracking, you guys finally managed to get down from Flame Keep to Fernia proper. And as you guys were making your way, following the direction given by the stone from Clonier, you guys were headed, trying to find some shelter, and then Solomon got picked up by some hell wasps trying to bring him to their nest. Ewan and Project Ezreal managed to wound the thing enough to where it wasn't able to make it. But the thing was still huge, and it pinned Solomon underneath it. And so as you guys were trying to go and save Solomon, more of the hell wasps were attracted. You guys managed to fight them off, but another wave was coming, and so you sought shelter in a tunnel that you found that you had no idea where it was going or what was going on, but you know, any port in a storm. So you guys managed to get into there. The tunnel is just small enough to keep the hell wasps out, but you could hear them digging behind you. And then you kept moving further into the tunnel, which was beginning to get smaller and smaller and squeeze you guys. And then there was some earthquaking, which caused a lot of concern. And then you fell, and then were in this room of packed dirt. That seemed really strange and odd. And then hearing the sounds of battle going on as apparently hell wasps outside were getting torn up. And then after a little bit, an Umber Hulk kind of came in, and you guys did not attack it, and it seemed to be intelligent and trying to communicate with you guys. And it led you to a larger cavern where its mate had been pinned beneath some vehicle. And so you guys helped get the mate out from underneath of it. You guys examined the vehicle, and then in the night, as you guys were resting in the cavern trying to plan what next steps you'd have, you found that the mate had started eating the healthy one. And it turns out the mate had been infected by a hell wasp larva that not only was controlling it, but augmented some of its abilities. You guys managed to destroy the body pretty badly, but the hell wasp was able to continue to push the thing beyond when it would normally die. Ewan, while Ewan was in its grasp, Ewan grasped it, grappling each other, and then Ewan tried to rip the thing out from the body. And unfortunately, in the act, the thing...
A bunch of nat ones.
Yeah. The dice god saw fit to take Ewan's arm.
That was all you. That was all you. Don't blame that on the dice gods.
Hey, and I might as well be the dice gods, right?
And I remember Begnag was particularly like he kept offering almost insistently to try to cut off his arm. And yeah, I think yeah, he was like, oh, let me get this for you.
Yeah, so Begnag was morbidly interested in the whole situation, and then the combined efforts of Solomon and Begnag managed to remove the Hellwasp Brub corpse from Ewan's arm, and were able to save Ewan's life, but Ewan lost his arm in the process. And so you guys had discovered that these soul points that you found are able to power the vehicle that you found, and it's some kind of digging machine. And so you guys were able to burrow in the direction provided by the gem, and which eventually led you to a structure that kind of looks like the knuckles of a fist emerging from the ground. And it's the first structure and possible settlement that you guys have encountered since coming to Fernia outside of Flamekeep, which is of course not a natural structure.
Does the structure look like it's meant in some ways to be a fist? Like, does it look deliberately carved to be a fist? Or just does it look like stone that happens to be a fist?
That is a good question. Let me bring up the description and I can give you some more. So it looks like the area is actually a natural formation that just happens to appear like a fist. And around this natural formation are a number of fortifications that were clearly built not naturally. And there's also, as you guys are getting closer to the fort, you can see that there are piles of scrap and junk all around the area and leading up to the area. So this fortified compound sits atop a low plateau that rises out of a crater-pocked landscape. At the center of the compound seems to be a rust-colored stone that resembles a hand clawing out of the ground with gaps between the fingers. A jagged wall made of rock, bones, and metal debris surrounds this hand-shaped hill. Other highlights visible from this distance include what appears to be a gatehouse, which stands atop which stands about at least a half a dozen small figures as you get closer that you can see.
So, I might have missed. So is like this formation in the middle of, is it like in the middle of this ring that has all this, you know, that kind of outside this gate? Is it like kind of like an Isengard type setup?
Yeah, let me, let's see. So here's kind of an image of what it looks like.
Fort Knucklehead. I see.
So it does appear to be a natural formation, and kind of around the formation is this large fortification.
Gotcha.
Very scrappy looking.
Mhm.
That wall there. Don't get cut there. You might get tetanus.
Very likely. That would probably be the best option, or the best possible outcome.
Yeah, it's the least you can worry about getting.
Yeah, you only get tetanus.
Right. I had a worm on me and lost a whole arm. So
So how far are we to? So we were, this machine is a digging machine,
Mhm.
and we were just up in the. We just tried driving it like as a land vehicle, like on top of the land, right?
For a while you were. I think you guys were kind of going back and forth.
I think
Okay.
it was told to us that it was faster underground.
Mhm.
So we popped up to see and we went back down. Just
And-
occasionally popping back up again.
Yeah, and the magic of the vehicle gave you some visibility beneath the ground, but not much. Just enough to maneuver out of the way of large stones or
Canyon.
or what?
Potential cliffs.
Yeah.
So as we were surfacing, and we're kind of coming up, and we see this, we should dig under it. This gate.
Unless they're friendly, then they might see that as an act of aggression.
Oh,
Do you really-
also, just to give another bit of information about the situation, Ewan is at 1 hit point, has several levels of exhaustion, and is unable to really regain any of those hit points until more immediate medical attention is provided to him.
Do you think we will find friends in this place?
Just have to figure out who their enemy is. And become their enemy as well.
That's fair.
All right, but just one.
We can. Do we were after like some priest, right? Or who's the figure we're after?
Good question. So, once again, just because a lot of time has passed, you guys did have
We have an orb
a
pointing
vision.
us in the
Yes,
direction.
you have an orb pointing you in the direction. It seems to be pointing you in the same direction as this fortification, though. The gem isn't saying whether this is the spot you need to go to, or if it's, this thing is just kind of between you and where you're going. But a few things. With you guys did receive a vision. Begnag, you didn't receive the vision because you weren't around at that point. I'm pretty sure. But the vision eventually indicated that you were following this jewel like a compass, which you have been, where you come to a shop where a pair of large birds talking like people stand. Each word is strange and in a different voice with the wrong intonation, working with pliers and hammers as well as spells. And next to them, machines like the engines of a lightning rail car. And the place in the vision was huge, and you get the sense that it can safely, and you get the sense that these machines can safely traverse the inhospitable land of Fernia. And using one of these machines would allow you to approach the Flamekeep Cathedral. Because ultimately, you guys are trying to save Jayla Duran, who is the keeper of the flame, the most important figure in the church, and she is the main prisoner within the cathedral that was teleported away from the city of Flamekeep. And just to kind of remind you guys, I'm going to put up that on the screen.
Thanks. Yeah, it's been a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if you think that Solomon and Lux and I can fend off any unwanted aggression, then we can approach the gate. I am not so sure. My I'm not as beat up as you, Ewan, but I'm not quite a hearty fellow.
Better off than I am right now.
How was your arm treating you?
What arm?
Exactly.
Oh. What arm?
Is the pain manageable?
Fine. I'll deal with it. Let's get moving.
So I guess
Unless you got some liquor, that'd be cool.
Some litter.
Some spirits.
Oh no, definitely not.
That stuff's bad for you.
How's that stuff deal with pain relief?
It's pretty good.
All right.
I passed the pipe.
You're gonna have to light a hole. Gonna have to light it.
Oh, it's already lit.
I wasn't sure what kind of pipe this was. Yeah, I mean, what else am I gonna do right now?
Right. It may not relieve any of your exhaustion. You just won't care.
Is it gonna kill me? Do I have to make a con save at disadvantage?
You'll be fine.
So does other than Ewan missing his arm, does he look? Is there anything? Does he have any kind of weird infection or affliction? He's like growing tendrils, or I mean, is he just look beat up?
Listen, if I start growing tendrils, leave them. I'll use it.
I'll make it work.
I'll work with this.
You can give me a medicine check if you want.
Oh yeah, dying to do that. No medicine. Oh,
18. Not
I
bad.
am wise in my state.
So as you look Ewan over, are you trained in medicine?
No.
Okay. No, that's fine. It doesn't really change much, just in terms of like the specifics of what you're looking at. You see that his skin is really pale and he's clammy. At times Ewan seems to shake or convulse involuntarily, not like a seizure or anything like that, just more like occasional shivers, likely due to blood loss and anemia. But he doesn't appear to have anything like, there's no clear infection. There's no areas that seem to be pussing. He doesn't smell any different. He just looks like he's really worn out.
We're still in the vehicle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or did we? Okay. Do we know how much further the vehicle will go?
You don't know exactly. You only had the one coin because I think Ewan, did you use it twice? The one that you touched the first time?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I just absorbed all of that one.
Right, causing it to crumble into dust. And I think you guys only had 2 total, correct?
Yeah.
So you only have the one coin that is currently powering this engine, this machine. And while you guys were able to gather a good amount of information about the machine, just in your examination of it, you weren't able to determine how long a coin might power the machine. It could be that it might power indefinitely, but based on the fact that Ewan using the coin to the point where it was drained suggests that it is a finite source of energy. Is that you, Dustin, typing like a madman?
Yeah, sorry. It's just a really loud keyboard.
No, I'm digging it.
Well, let's see if we can. Let's drive a little bit closer to the gate and see if we can see if there anybody that would be potentially friendly to us.
Good luck. Good luck. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
So as we drive and Ewan's passed out.
Wait, then who's driving? I thought Ewan was the one who was.
Well, Solomon was.
Oh, Solomon was driving. That's right. Okay.
Yeah, he too has proficiency in land vehicles.
Is there any natural formations that we could kind of get the vehicle behind so that we could get like a vantage point of the gatehouse to see like where they might not spot us? Or is it fairly open?
No, it's fairly open, and you can tell that the area has been cleared in front of the gatehouse, especially to limit that kind of activity of people using it to kind of sneak up or be unseen.
How far are we from the gatehouse?
I would say a couple hundred yards at this point. So it's far enough away that you can see the indistinct shapes of 6 or 7 creatures on top of the gate, but not close enough that you can make out clear detail.
Which
So
means
you guys have
that
time to make decisions in terms of how you want to approach.
which means that at this point they've probably seen us. Because if we can see them, at least in haziness, they would have been able to see us.
Mhm. They don't seem to be the figures that you're seeing, though. They seem to be kind of just sitting around, or at least they're not really active. So the response to your presence doesn't seem to be that concerned. So it's not like they're sounding the alarm bells or anything like that.
All right. Um,
Let's go up to the gate.
yeah, we'll go up there.
Okay.
We should be able to kind of see, or they should kind of be able to like look and see how they react as we get closer.
Mhm. So as you get closer, at one point you do hear a loud gong, and then they may be using some kind of magic or mechanical way of amplifying a voice, because a thunderous voice you can hear, "Hey you, get out of there! Walk up to the gate if you want passage."
Can we, as we're getting closer, can we get it? Do the figures become any clearer? Can we tell like what they are or like what they look like?
Yeah. So let me bring up an image. So they kind of look like this.
You mean those dangerous motherfuckers called red caps?
Yes. Although unless is anybody proficient in religion or arcana or history?
Not
Yeah,
I.
I have history.
I got religion.
Okay, you guys are welcome to make a check to see what you know about these things.
I'm gonna assume I have disadvantage.
It's a fair assumption.
I don't know how many levels of exhaustion I have. I just put myself at 3 just to, just as a base level.
That's fair. I mean,
The 4th one is max hit points is halved.
yeah, you're not there yet. Although I guess you kind of have a worse condition in that you only have 1 hit point and really can't regain.
Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's not the 5th level, because then my movement speed is 0.
Yeah.
These guys
Sorry.
are friendly though, so.
Okay.
Sorry, 1 second.
Hmm.
Yeah. Okay. So that was pointless. So Lux, based on the things that you're seeing, you would guess that they are something called red caps. Now, from what you know, the tales are, it's less of religious connotation and more along the fairy tales and encounters that the church has had with creatures originally from the realm of Thelanis. But you know that these are fairy creatures that just are well known for their bloodlust. And their caps are red because they soak them in the blood of their enemies. But you also notice that there's a few among their number that don't quite look like you would expect. Their coloring, their posture, the way they move is different from the stories that you've heard. Many of them are very similar, but there's also a few that stand out.
Do they soak their caps in the blood of their enemies? Do they have sworn enemies, or is it pretty much?
The stories that you've heard don't indicate any particular enemy or anything that typically draws their murderous rage.
So in the smoke filled vehicle, I recount this information.
How strong is the hotboxing?
Pretty good right now. Is our vehicle, can they see it? Is it above the ground right now?
Yes.
Yeah, it was. I mean, you guys were approaching, and I didn't hear anybody say that you guys were going to go back down below. But when you emerged close enough that they would have been able to see you.
They sounded out saying to exit the vehicle and walk to approach. So
can we see how many of them are on the gatehouse?
Yeah, at this point you can see that there's 6 of them, and there's also one fairly large raven standing atop as well.
I'll just say, all right, guys, just help me out. I'll approach.
sure that's a good idea?
I mean, I'm already on the brink of death.
Let's
Let,
at
let
least
me. I'll be the canary.
I would suggest we at least put the vehicle like 3/4 in the dirt. So in case they do come after us, we just run and jump in. But I don't want them like try to haul it. I think they'd have a harder time trying to get it out of the dirt than they would if it's just above the ground. And we'd have a quicker descent.
That's fair. So
Might be able to take that coin out. What's left of it? Is there an eject button?
Or just keep Solomon in here. Keep it running. He's our getaway driver.
Keep it warm.
So there doesn't appear to be any eject option for the coin, but the faceplate, you guys know from previous, is you can pop it off if you need to.
Stick your hand in there? I don't think so.
I mean, you
I only
could.
got the one good one left.
Yeah, you could, like, the slot is big enough, like, where you could put a portion of your hand in, but you also see that there's a lot of arcane energy flashing around inside of it, so
So what you're saying is it's a good idea.
Join the club, guys.
I mean, do you really know if it's a bad situation until you touch the burning stove?
So you're saying it's burning?
I'm saying you don't know it's burning until you touch it.
The thing about burning is you can tell before you touch it.
So Begnag would get out of the car with Ewan, and presumably Solomon is gonna.
Their getaway driver.
Yeah, he's gonna start getting it into like submerging position.
Okay. So you guys walk up to the gates. Are you doing anything in particular as you walk up? As you are walking, you see that all of the red caps look to be pretty intently focused on you.
On which one of us?
You can't really tell from this distance, but they're focused on you guys, and like they're not like interacting with each other at all at this point.
Are they licking their chops, looking a little hungry, or?
No, just kind of more like on edge. It's not hungry, not like ready or anything like that, but that you can tell that there's a tension.
Okay. Keep going towards the gate.
So at some point, you guys get close enough where one of them threw, it looks like a loudspeaker of some sort, like one of those cones you hold up to your mouth. All right, that's far enough. What's the password?
Down with the patriarchy.
Password.
It is admin.
That's probably a good one. Yeah. Password 1.
You see the red caps kind of conferring with themselves, and they're like, "No, that's not the password. You want to get in, don't you? What's the password?" At that point, the large raven takes off and starts flying above you guys. And after a minute of flying above you, it flies back past the gate and out of sight.
Who would give us the password? We've never been given a password. We just got here. How are we supposed to get the password if you never tell us what the password is?
All right, we'll give you a clue.
That's not the password.
Nah, buddy. Wait. And then you hear one of them say, "Wait a minute, we don't have a password." And they're all laughing. Like it's just the funniest joke in the world.
We'd like to get through.
What do you want?
He just said.
We'd like to get through.
Yeah, but why? What do you need here?
We have business on the other side.
With who?
What are you guarding? What is your position? What is your number, soldier?
Number? And he turns, number. What's a number?
Yeah, fucking idiots probably don't know what a number is.
You weren't given a number?
Who's your superior officer?
I'm the superior officer.
I don't think so. If you
I
were,
don't
you'd
think
have
so.
If you were, you'd have a number.
If you were, you'd have a number.
I do have a number.
I do have a number.
Look at that. It
Look
knows
at
how
that.
to mimic. It knows how to mimic people.
It knows how to mimic people.
I'm just gonna start walking towards the gate. Like to walk in. How big is this gate? Can it just be pushed open?
No, it's massive. It's like 20 feet tall, 20 feet wide, double doors, made out of wrought iron with sharp edges. And give me a perception check.
All of us?
Ewan as he's walking up.
Oh yay. Disadvantage. How do I die?
No, you don't notice anything out of the ordinary other than seeing what's been described. So you hear, as you are approaching, you hear someone like, "Is he just walking up? Yeah, he's just walking up. Is he gonna just try and knock or get in? I don't know. That's weird. Like, do people just do that? Yeah, I guess this guy does. He's not gonna get in though. It's all locked, right?"
I'll just look up to them and say, all right, open the gate, or I'll send our friend in the rig back there through the gate.
They all look at you wide-eyed for a moment, and then they all fall on the floor laughing.
I hope Solomon's paying attention.
They think that thing is gonna get through. Oh, that's good.
Well, you heard him. Let's go, Ewan.
I was gonna like try and gesture towards Solomon to like somebody. I thought about it, I'm like, somebody should tell Solomon to try this, because if we start gesturing towards him at him to come towards us, he will probably just get out and walk.
Yep.
Let's cut the middleman of and let's go right to the end. I have walked enough. I'm just gonna.
So you're just gonna sit.
Take
there.
a sit right here. Yep. Right on the to the side of the gate.
So I guess Begnag would turn to Lux and Solomon and kind of wave like this. And then it also like do this sort of movement to like, really like kind of gesture to like lay it down, pedal to the metal.
Give me a performance check.
Hopefully it's
Jeez,
I'm gonna use an action point. It's better.
All right. And then Solomon, he pops his head out and he says, "You want me to drive it up there?"
And he gives the double thumbs up.
Through the gate. Tell him through the gate.
Okay, if you think that's what's best. And then you see the thing slowly crawling towards the gate. And then it's like going 5 miles an hour. And then it kind of
go under. Disrupt the he's got to go under.
Yeah, but you guys didn't say that. So he's just
got to go under to disrupt the foundation.
So I figured that like as Solomon so like when I'm gesturing to Solomon and Lux, like they're further away, right? Because we got out and walked, and trying not to like yell. So as they'd come closer, Begnag would be like, as you get close to the door, start digging under. Yuan is waiting.
Wait. So you're gonna go in and tell Solomon, or
like as he's driving by?
Well, there's not really windows in this thing. Like, so that's why he had to pop his head out to yell at you guys.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, open that hatch up.
Yeah, I guess like Begnag would, if that's the case. I forgot that it was like a tank enclosed thing. As he drive by, Begnag would try to board and just like ride on top.
All right, give me an acrobatics check.
At the whole 5 miles an hour. Don't roll a 0. Don't roll a 1 this time.
All right, so you're able to hop on.
And then, then I would like knock on the hatch and let Solomon and Lux know what I was trying to yell at them from the side.
Wait, is Lux in the vehicle, or I thought Lux was outside too?
Yeah, I'd imagine she walked up, but she could be in there trying to help Solomon. Yeah, so when you open the hatch, just like a billows smoke now comes out. So they just see this vehicle like smoking.
As you get to the gate, no, it's probably not big enough to go through, but we can dig under it and get all around these clones.
Okay.
So I'm going to climb out of the hatch and look to basically. How many of them do I see from where I'm at? Like
6.
Okay. Are they all crowded at one? Like, I'm assuming they're on top of this.
Yeah, they're on top of the gatehouse.
How tall is the gatehouse?
Well, the gate is 20 feet tall. The gatehouse is probably another 10, 15 feet.
Okay. All right. We all going to get in and go underneath, or is you going to wait?
I don't know. I can get in, I guess. I'll need help.
Okay.
So, are you guys having Solomon just do a full stop right outside the gate?
Yeah.
And then getting you in?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, if necessary, I can walk to meet. I probably move about as fast as it does on land right now, so and then yeah, that way he can have a good start at it underground where we move faster.
Okay. And all the red caps are just they're waiting with bated breath. They look like they're so excited to see what happens next. So Ewan manages to get in with the help of Lux and Begnag, and with Alyssa and Project Azrael kind of sitting there in the vehicle as well. Solomon says, "Hold on," and then starts lowering it under the ground. And as it goes onto the ground, as it approaches the gate, you hear and you guys all knock forward a little bit from the force. Looks like it's solid stone that you guys have encountered.
And a digging machine is this damn thing. Go further.
Farther where what?
Can we go further down?
It seems to be pretty deep. I mean, you can go under it, but then it looks like it's like the rock is pretty solid all around the place. So you're not able to rise within, at least as far as you can see, with the time that you're spending, because I don't know how much time you're spending under the ground, but yeah, there's a lot of rock around.
All right. I thought this thing was stronger than that.
Apparently.
It can't even get into through rock. No digging machine at all.
Apparently, it only works in dirt, not rock.
It's a digging machine, not a drilling machine.
It's the worst. It's got a big drill on the front of it. I see the picture. It's still up there.
Cooling fan.
That's just a big radiator. No, but
We still have that cannon.
Oh, you do. Wait.
I don't think we could carry it. Could we carry it?
I mean, I think I might have been.
Wait, what cannon are you guys?
I don't remember. I don't remember where it was, where it ended up. There was like a fucking like big magical arcane cannon.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right. I couldn't remember if I gave you that in this game or the last one.
No, we definitely got it here.
Yeah, didn't we get it like outside one of those cathedrals or something? We found it.
Yeah, I think it was in the big place there. I think.
All right, let me bring that up. Where is that magic items?
We'll come back up. Just back up. Put it in reverse.
This guy, the
That's
long
the
rod.
one.
Yeah.
That's the one.
I'd expect nothing less.
Like, yeah, we were given it.
Yes,
What
here
the
it
fuck
is.
are we gonna do with
We
it?
got it. Session 14. 5 rounds to set up. Arcane artillery.
Who was carrying that? Probably Alyssa.
Alyssa.
Oh yeah, because that's just like a handgun for her. Weighs close to 350 pounds. It says,
Yeah.
which is like nothing for her. Like that's something I could do. Well, under normal circumstances. At the moment, I can't do shit. But yeah, she definitely had that thing.
Somebody has to be attuned to it in order to use it. And that person has to be a spellcaster.
Yeah. We've got
Well, we technically have 2 of those.
I don't know if anybody attuned to it. So you guys would need to take a short rest to have somebody attuned to it. So you guys come up, you said? Are you guys coming
Yeah.
up?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you come up, you don't see the red caps standing on top of the gatehouse, but you do hear their laughter. And then you can see one of them getting up because they're literally on the floor laughing, and they're like, "You dum-dums! Like we wouldn't prepare for that. Come on!"
Seriously, do we have the the cannon?
You do. You can set it up if you want to.
I was like, all right, Alyssa, your turn. I just imagine like she fucking shoulder mounts that shit while Solomon's in the back, powering that bitch up.
So you guys start setting it up, and then the red caps, they're like, "Ooh, something new." But then that large raven comes back and perches on top of one of the shoulders of the red caps. And it's almost like you can see the raven is maybe saying something to the red cap in its ear. And then he looks at the other red caps and he's like, "What are you waiting for, you lousy runts? Open the gates, let them in." And then the gates start to open.
I just like look at, do we still want to shoot them or?
Well, they were pretty rude.
It might be a bit of a laugh. We'll come back. We'll come back and do it. Let me recover a little bit.
So we start breaking down the cannon.
Yep. Take it down.
Cleaning it.
You remember from Halo 3 that fucking laser? You get like charge that motherfucker up.
Yes.
Yeah.
Takes out a tank and shit.
I
Yeah,
love that thing.
that's what I'm picturing. With Alyssa as the thing, but then like Alyssa's carrying it, but Solomon's in the back actually charging the laser.
So the gates open. Several of these red caps kind of guide you in. If you're going to be going, are you guys going to be using the vehicle to come in, or are you going to be walking in?
If they
Using the
object,
vehicle.
Okay. So they guide your vehicle in and direct you. So the compound, when you get in, is actually quite massive. The wall goes completely around this big plateau with these hills on it that form the knuckle bone shape. And the red caps lead you down to probably about half mile in between the knuckle bones or the fingers of this formation are these caves into the formation, and they lead you into one of the caves, and it looks like a really big garage. You can see other similar vehicles, some much larger, some smaller, different shapes, sizes, and also in different conditions, all in a state of some kind of disrepair, some more so than others, as well as piles of parts and scrap. And they eventually, the red caps direct you to stop your vehicle. Do you guys do that?
So I think this thing is going super slow and they're directing us, so somebody will probably have to be up top. A few of us will probably have to be outside, like to help Solomon direct where to go. Isn't that kind of how we...
Okay, yeah, that would work.
So I would get up top, and do I see more than 6 red caps as we're going?
So throughout the facility, you've seen probably a dozen or more, but there's probably 2 or 3, I'm going to say 3 red caps who are kind of escorting you through this place.
Okay.
Are there any other living creatures out here? Or is there only red caps?
No, there are. When you get into the garage, you see a couple of figures at a workbench getting tools and going to work on one of these vehicles.
Are these vehicles of your device?
Who are you talking to?
I guess, are there any red caps that are near? Like we pulled into this garage, right?
Mhm.
And there's these red caps. So would there be like a red cap mechanic?
So
Around?
none of the red caps seem to be wielding any kind of tools. But if you're talking to one of the guides, the red cap guides, they would say, what do you mean? Are these our design?
I see you're working on one. Are these yours? We have found this one.
They're ours because they're here in our place. I don't understand what you're saying.
It's one of these places you need an appointment. We're going to be here all day.
Never mind.
Just wait here. Mistress Mad Maggie, or Mad Maggie is the mistress of this here realm. She'll be here in a bit.
Why is she called Mad? Is she angry all the time?
Well, you don't want to see her really angry. You'll see.
Is she crazy?
Are you crazy?
She's probably mad because she has to live with these guys.
You're
That-
funny. I'm
that
gonna
doesn't-
kill you
that doesn't-
last.
That does not clarify whether she's just angry or crazy. Because I could see either one happening. Sorry, wrong hand. I could see either one happening.
Just wait here while we go and fetch her.
So
Insight.
you want an insight?
Yeah.
All right.
With my disadvantage. Where you at? Here you go. Come on, motherfucker. Hey.
So what is it that you're trying to determine?
If the, if they're going to get somebody or this mad person, or if they're just leaving us here.
No, they seem like they're moving with purpose, so it doesn't look like they're just gonna leave you. At least that's what you would guess.
Hmm.
So let me check something. real
Have we
quick.
drawn an audience? Is there more coming out, like checking out that we're here, or just everybody kind of like business as usual?
Yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys know in a minute. I just need to check something real quick. Okay, so okay, so Lux and Ewan, both of you feel like a tiny pinprick.
Where?
Ewan, for you, it's your face. Lux, it's your head.
I was sort of like SWAT, make sure it's not a fucking bug or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a strength or dexterity check with proficiency.
For both of us.
Yeah.
With proficiency.
Yeah.
So I'll just roll
Okay.
athletics, which is basically the same. Fuck. Doesn't negate disadvantage.
Okay. As you guys are swatting away, you don't get the sense that there's anything there. You don't see any flies or anything like that.
I'll touch the spot where I felt it. I don't know where exactly. See if I'm bleeding.
Probably in this area right here, and it doesn't seem like you're bleeding.
In my beard?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck with my beard.
And yeah, for you, Lux, it's somewhere on your scalp.
Hmm.
So anyways, that happens. And then as you guys are brought into the enclosed area, the area enclosed by the rampart, you see that it's littered with trash and mechanical parts. Some put together in a way that resembles a vehicle. Ramshackle structures built from the same junk as the outer wall, which provides shelter. You see a platoon of small fey creatures that mill about, all looking like feral gnomes. Several of them sport tall red caps, some of which drip with vile ichor. But beyond, you see a pair of dwarves who examine one of these vehicles, and they're muttering to themselves in muffled tones. They are working with an assortment of strange tools that you guys don't really recognize. But as they work, this group of feral red caps begin taunting the dwarves and sticking them with daggers. And they're yelping, crying out in pain. But you also see that the wounds that these guys are leaving with their weapons seem to heal almost as soon as they're made. And they're using full daggers and swords, slicing and slashing into these dwarves. And after a few minutes of just trying to, defend themselves and to just try and, not make too much trouble, the female dwarf actually fights back, picking up one of the heavy black wrenches and catching one of the red caps right in the head. And that causes it to yelp, and then it grabs a new weapon with a sterling glint, and the blade flashes across the dwarf woman's face, causing blood to spill. And unlike the other wounds, this one doesn't start healing. And right after that, all of the other red caps scatter, especially as they notice you approaching. And the male dwarf begins comforting his partner and trying to tend to her wound. And then they notice you guys, and they're just kind of staring at you in awe.
Did that weapon look silvered, perhaps?
It did. And the male dwarf says, "Ah, can it be? Are you from the proper world, Galifar? What news do you bring? Has the church beaten back the hordes of lycanthropes?"
Is that what you're looking for? Is that what you're hoping for? How long have you been here?
So the male dwarf turns to the female dwarf, and they kind of look at each other. Ugh, we've lost count after the first couple decades. Been here for a long time.
How did you get here?
At that, the woman chimes in and says, "Well, we were attacked by a group of were-ravens. We survived, but unfortunately we got the curse. And I was with the child. We were afraid. We didn't want to go to the church. We knew that they would just purify us, which is a polite way of saying they'd burn us in silver flame. Because there's no cure, as far as we knew." And then the male dwarf says, "Yeah." And then, so we turned to other ways, trying to find something that might save us. And eventually we came across an old maid. She called herself Maggie, and she seemed to be, I don't know, a little scary, but she said she could help. And we were at our wits' end. We didn't know what else to do.
So, would you say that it would be a bad idea to make any sort of deals with this Mad Maggie?
Well, a few things you should know.
We are in hell.
Don't say your name around her. If she hears your name from your own lips, she's as good as owns you. Yeah, she'll steal your name and then she'll have power over you.
What about a fake name? Like, I am Bob.
You could tell her that. It's probably safe that you just keep your name from her, but she is quite powerful. And then the male one says, yeah, she was able to actually save our child and remove the curse from our kin. Came at a pretty heavy cost, though.
Always does.
Lux takes a big toke and just looks around, shakes her head.
At what cost?
Well, she created this silver mask, and she said it would drain the curse from us, and it seemed to work. But it turned out that the curse was only suppressed in us. It drew it out from our child, but after I'd given birth, Mad Maggie returned. And then the male one says, yeah, she said that if we wanted to keep the curse from our child, we would have to submit and work for her. She wanted our skill as artificers and mechanics. And so we had to give our child to our clan leader so that we could follow her to this dreadful place.
What does she have? Does she have you work on those vehicles?
Yeah, these are they're called Infernal Machines. They're basically vehicles that are powered by the soul coins. We know enough about magic and tinkering to be able to work on them and repair them, and she values that. So she keeps us around. As long as we're in this place, we're able to manage the curse, which is good because it was really taking our humanity before we got here. Then the male one looks at you, Ewan, and says, is that fresh? You muted. Can't hear you.
Quite. I don't suppose there's a proper medic around here.
Certainly Mad Maggie has ways to address the wound, but
Sure she does.
I don't think even her magic would have a way of replacing it, at least not at a cost that you would want to pay. I suppose me and my wife could probably create some kind of prosthetic if you're needing.
I'd be curious to see what you got.
I know this is strange, but do you, is there anything that you might be able to exchange for it? If we're to work on it, we'd have to do it in secret because Magi, she is a very demanding taskmaster.
Do you think you'd be able to keep a secret from her? A secret like that?
Do you mean to keep the arm a secret?
Well, I mean that and whatever we trade for it.
We could probably do so, yeah. Yeah, I think that wouldn't be too much of an issue. As long as we're careful.
And I hope you're careful.
Is there anything that you could offer as trade? Perhaps, do you perhaps know of the Dwarven clans in Galifar? Perhaps you know of our daughter?
How old would she be now? I guess.
Oh,
Where was your clan?
Well, our clan, we were living in Thrain at the time. So it's the clan McGallagher.
I mean, I could try. I don't know if there's a history check.
You could do a history check if you want.
Begnag would also, in his travels, see if that was familiar.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, I'm gonna send you a message. Night sent.
Does this mask sound familiar to me as far as my abbreviated study in the Silver Flame?
Go ahead and make a religion check.
Does your daughter have a name?
Belinda.
I know of a Belinda McGallagher.
Truly?
Yes, she is one of my rivals. She is traitor, ruthless merchant. I have much respect for her. But she's always been honest and fair with me.
So she is doing well?
Oh, yeah. She is very well off.
Is she happy?
And well, I do not know. But she's honest and fair. Which means she has grown into a woman of good standing.
Can I insight Begnag? This seems like an incredibly coincidental bullshit story he's made up. So I'm impressed if he's like actually making this up and they're buying it. Can I do that?
Yeah.
Lux, as far as you can tell, Begnag is it appears to be genuine.
I took to that. Wow.
It's amazing. The silver flame must have brought you here to deliver that. Oh, our hearts are so full right now. Thank you.
I wouldn't blame them.
All praise to the silver flame.
Yeah, sure.
You have brought us great joy just in easing our minds. We'll be happy to create the prosthetic for you. It should take a few days, but we're happy to do it, knowing that our daughter is safe. But how did you come to this place, this blasted Fernia? We've never seen people from the proper world before.
By a very unfortunate series of bad luck. The whole city of that one place, I don't remember what it's called.
Flamekeep.
No, Flamekeep is not the city though, right? Or is it?
It's a city and it's a cathedral.
And
and
it's,
it's,
okay, all right, yeah. The whole damn city of Flamekeep is here. Dragged here by some fucking shit.
So both their faces go white. The whole city? What magic can do such a thing?
Something that took a lot of time to prepare.
Yeah, apparently something that exists down here. Or that someone came into possession with in this area, in Fernia.
Are you able to set things right?
We're trying. We've been given strange visions, supposedly from the silver flame.
I mean, it would make sense that
Some form of divine insight has been granted to us, and we're being led in this direction.
then it's no wonder why you've been brought here with us. Because this place is one of the few places where you can actually trade for these machines. Mad Magi is something of a warlord, you might say. And there are many in the area all vying for power. Mad Magi is more willing to deal with outsiders than others, and for the right price, she'd be willing to provide you with vehicles, with sustenance, and with other things that might help you to survive this place and upon your journey. She is less. She's less stingy with her things than some of the other warlords that we've heard from. She recognizes the value of a good deal.
She does.
What does Maggie want? If we were to hypothetically trade, what sorts of things does she crave? Power, sex, money.
We can offer none of these things.
She's mercurial. Yeah, that's a good word for it, mercurial. In the things that she desires. Sometimes the things that she wants seems to have no value at all. Other times she'll want an entire kingdom. Her desires are well hidden and hard to understand from the perspective of mortals such as us. We hear that she's from Thalanis and willingly chose to be in this place.
Seems like very hag-like behaviors.
Hag, yes. We've heard the Redcaps refer to her as such.
I don't know what is worse, the damn fiends in this place or the hag that chooses to live there.
Be very careful with Maggie. She is canny in ways that defy reason.
I'll be careful till I get that arm.
Trust me, we've been known to defy reason as well.
Not entirely sure that's a good thing.
Um,
Do you need to make measurements?
yes, actually we do. And then they take out a few tools. Some of them look like calipers, other ones look like measuring sticks of some sort, and they take some measurements, and once they're satisfied, they take some notes, and then they say, we'll do as much as we can as quickly as we can so that you can be rid of this place.
Not going to have Tony roll. Maybe he might crit fail. Come back.
Tony, would you like to roll?
Come
Do I
back
have
with this
disadvantage?
little stumpy arm.
We'll do it just a straight D20 roll and see, just to see.
What
It
am I
might have an
rolling for?
effect, it might not.
These motherfuckers are experts, clearly. What do they need to roll for?
It's you rolling. This is, we'll say it's like a luck roll.
That hasn't proven well lately.
I'm gonna go ahead and action point this. Just so
No,
I get a better
don't.
option.
This is not real. I was just playing around. I'm not making you low roll luck to see how well they do.
Well, what if I get a nat 20?
If you get a nat 20, okay, wait. If you want to do this, we'll bargain. We'll gamble a little bit. Okay? I'll give you 3 rolls for an action point.
Okay.
And the first natural number, whether it's a 20 or a 1, will determine whether you get a boon or a bust.
The first?
The first one that happens out of those 3.
If I got the 3, we should look at the whole bundle. That's how it's supposed to work.
Okay.
I'll use an action point. I don't fucking care.
You want to do this? Because it may just be nothing. Because
might
if it's not a natural 1 or a natural 20, it's not going to have any effect.
Or it might be everything.
Fuck.
Damn!
I used my other action point. I'm like, fucking roll 3 more. This is what they're used for, guys. This is what they're used for right here. I will use the second one.
Okay.
All right, cool. All right. No badness.
Oh
No epicness either, but no badness.
no. Okay. The extra action point doesn't cancel out this one. It just adds new opportunities to cancel out. So you didn't roll a natural 20.
It's supposed to be a replacement, like that's what these things are for. I didn't get 3 rolls with my original 20.
All right. Well, you use 2 action points for nothing. I'm not going to penalize you. But yeah, that's funny.
I don't expect to be doing much, so I'll use my action points.
Okay, so you guys probably only have another minute or 2 before Mad Maggie arrives. Is there anything else that you want to discuss or bring up with these dwarves?
Make sure to add some extra pockets, some compartments in the prosthetic. That is the best part of not being flesh and blood, at least full flesh and blood.
Yeah. By the way, what are you? We've never seen something such as yourself.
How long have these guys been around exactly?
Hold on to me, flies.
Doesn't even fly. Yeah, that maybe you can help him fly. You get like a jet booster on him.
What's a jet?
They you have never met a Warforged.
No. We have been away from the proper world for at least 100 years, if not more.
Yeah, they're a new one.
Oh.
If we're lucky,
Are you
we're
like a
him.
golem?
That is insulting. Golems have no personality, no life. Warforged were created by House Kenneth during the war.
War? What war?
Oh boy.
What was the
There was
what was the name of the place that it's called the Mournlands now? What's it called now?
It
it
used
was
to be
before?
Sire.
Sire,
Yeah.
yeah. The whole country's Sire is gone.
Truly, a whole country gone. How can
Well, I
it
don't
be
know.
gone?
I guess I don't know if it's like truly gone. It's just covered in a perpetual state of mist and weird fuckery.
It is no longer hospitable, except by the very reckless or the very brave.
Or the Warforged.
Or the Warforged. Yes. I have never personally been. But there was a large war embroiled an entire continent.
Yeah, there's too much going on. You don't need to worry about that. Is he bored down here?
Silver Flame.
Oh yeah, they were a part of it too. Yeah. They didn't help. But that's okay. It's over now.
Wow. That's awful. Well, It's a lot to process, but I guess to focus on that our daughter is still doing well and continuing on the name of our clan. That's what's important, I suppose. But still, the fact that House Conneth has been able to create something such as you, I would be careful with Mad Magi. A creature such as herself is going to be quite valuable to one like her.
We'll keep that in mind.
Duly noted.
So
No, but
with
like
that, oh.
it's like no, so like a jet booster. It's like if we could like put it on the elbow, so that I can.
I want to be able to punch harder.
Yeah. Yeah.
Rocket hands.
Like
Do they look like?
Genos from One Punch Man.
Do
yes.
they look like the appropriate age? Like, does it look like they've aged since they've been down here, or maybe the aging process is different?
I mean, they look fairly old. I mean, if they're based on what they've been saying, they probably are. I mean, Lux, I'm not even gonna make you do a check. You know that the Silver Crusade, where the church was actively trying to eliminate lycanthropes, happened in the sometime around 830, 834, which is like 180 years ago. And dwarves typically live several hundred years. So they may have been at least 100 years old before they got here. So, I mean, I don't know how familiar you are with like dwarves and their aging process. They do look to be old, but also they're still kind of cursed with lycanthropy. And so you don't know how that might be affecting the aging process as well. That may be a conflicting factor.
Okay.
So, emerging from a dark hallway is a tall creature wearing a long, tattered shift covered in mud, blood, mold, and worse. The hag's eyes seem to move independently from each other as she approaches, with her straggly brown hair hanging in front of them. Resting on each shoulder are red-eyed ravens that scrutinize your group. Behind her is a hulking creature of disparate parts that trudges, moaning and dragging its limbs across the floor. And then both eyes focus keenly on your group, and she says,
Oh my goodness.
and as she speaks, spittle is dribbling from her mouth.
Where did you find such treasures?
And she's looking between you and then Alyssa, and then just looking at each of your foreheads.
Like both of her eyes are looking at us, or like one eye is on you and the other eye is on Lux, and like they're kind of shifting around.
I mean, when she's focused on those things, both eyes are on what she's focusing on. Let me bring up a picture of this lady, broad monster hag thing. And then the creature that is following her, and it towers over her, probably twice her height, and twice the height of you guys, to be honest.
That's Mickey. I can't wait to see Minnie. Gorsh.
So, who do I have the pleasure of having in my company?
She's kind of rubbing her hands together.
Not important.
I put my hand over Solomon's mouth. He's there.
Good call.
What?
We are
No.
travelers.
No names?
We are.
Have cats got your tongue?
No, another hag took it.
Sure. Well, I must be able to call you something. It would be rude to just refer to you as one arm, orc lady. What are you?
Looking at Begnag.
Tin Man.
Tin Man, though stronger than Tin.
Oh.
She's like kind of walking around you like you're some kind of used car or something, like kicking the tires and she like lifting your arm to see if you squeak when she moves you.
Careful what you pull on.
Yes, I could see there are attachments. Ooh.
Would you like to see my love handles?
Yes.
Oh, easy. Listen, she's got to pay for that kind of treatment.
Oh. How much for the creature?
And she looks to Lux, Ewan, and Solomon, and Alyssa.
I am not a creature.
You're right. How much for the automaton?
I'm afraid he has extreme sentimental value.
What do you got to? That's sentimental. What do you got to offer?
Oh, you can have any of the vehicles here in this garage. And I would also happily give you some soul coins as well.
We already have a vehicle.
Are you referring to that?
And she points at the thing that you came in.
Yeah, that was just a loaner. I'm sure there's a nicer one in here.
Oh, you'll need a proper war vehicle if you are going to survive these lands. And for this creature, I would happily part with one of mine.
I guess we would have to look. See what you got. But before we could do that, I need some time. I've been through quite the ordeal, and I require rest.
Oh my. I could have that looked at if
By who?
you'd like. Well, I am a talented healer.
Could you attach a baby hand on there?
Is that what you would wish, young one-armed man?
I'm all right. I think
With
I'll
a
survive.
lovely supple beard?
I believe I will survive. Just gonna take some time to get used to it, that's all.
Well, if you should change your mind, I'm happy to be your humble servant.
And she looks back greedily at Begnag.
Oh, you want to be our servant? Well, we can
Well,
make a deal for that.
for the right price.
I
But
am. I own myself. I am free.
oh, it thinks it's people.
It thinks it's cute.
What?
What are we waiting for? You got some grease? I'll lube him up for you.
Would you imagine
Thanks.
that? Would it blow your mind if I said that was not the first time she said that?
Oh, I'm sure you have so much fun with this thing. Also, you have these strange marks upon your heads. Very curious. What are those?
And she goes up to Lux and really getting into your personal space, looking up into your forehead very closely, enough that you can smell the putrid breath coming off of her. And if you are not quick enough to move out of the spittle and stuff that seems to come out of her mouth.
You want a toke?
No, I'm good right now, but this looks like binding magic. Your soul is bound to someone else.
No, I left him years ago.
And you as well. And she points to Ewan. And you. And then to Solomon. And you, Alyssa.
What are you talking about?
Your souls are not your own. They
Whose
are
would
for
they be?
now. But they belong to one who is not present.
And who would that be?
That's a good question. This mark is a personal mark, but is not just put upon your flesh, carved into your foreheads. It is extending beyond. It is a mark upon your very soul. How did you come to possess this?
Wouldn't you like to know?
I would, because
What's that sort of knowledge worth to you?
Quite a bit. I would want to be able to study these marks upon you. I don't know if I could do anything about them, but it certainly would add to my...
I would say whoever did it is probably trying to make a play and gain more power in this whole area, right?
And this shield, oh my, this shield.
Don't
It
worry.
shines with the lights within. It's outside of the visible spectrum, of course, but I can see it bright, glowing, dark.
Solomon's like, I knew it.
How much would you trade for this shield?
Alyssa just kind of hides it behind her back and then goes off into Malon's face.
I don't think that's up for any sort of negotiation at the moment.
No, not yet.
I'll
But
work on
soon.
it for you.
Well, clearly you have many treasures that I find quite valuable, but what is it that brings you here to my domain?
And then you hear a and that's the creature towering over her behind her.
Shut up, Mickey!
You need to feed that thing.
No, it doesn't eat. It starves in hunger, just as it should.
What is this? What is it?
Oh, this It's a gift from a former lover of mine. It's possible you've heard of him. Mordain the Flesh Weaver.
I have no idea.
Has Begnag heard of Morgains the Flesh Ripper?
You can make a history check or arcana check if you're proficient.
No, I'm not proficient in these things.
You could do a history check trained, I guess.
No.
How's he die?
It's your uncle. Yes, this my former lover found people who had done wrong to me and had intended me harm, and he molded their flesh into this creature, this splendid symphony of pain. Every one of those individuals is still conscious and writhing in agony, and oh, it's beautiful.
By the dedication there.
Dane seems like a real charmer.
Yeah, you probably want to hold on to him.
He's still around? Is he still around? Can we go to his house?
We have not spoken in some time.
Oh, that's a shame. You know how to get there still?
What is it that you wish with Mordain?
We just never made it there in the last campaign, so I was... Would have give us a shot. I just know instinctually it's like 20 yards over a hill from this indestructible fucking tent. In the middle of the desert.
Oh, the tent. I forgot about the tent.
The tent that will survive time.
You guys got so close.
And then we saw it on the map. Like, oh shit, it's right there.
Well,
Rest first. Then we could talk some business, yeah?
well, what is it that you wish here first? We can talk business about the things that I desire, but I need to know what you have come here for. And I also need to know what the price that you wish to pay in order to rest here. You cannot just be here for free and expect hospitality without something in return.
You mean my rugged good looks aren't enough?
What I would do with your rugged good looks.
Yeah,
but no.
You can keep that to yourself. It's okay.
At this time, I do not require such as that. What is it that you have to offer for my hospitality? And what is it that you have come here to seek?
I actually have no idea what we're looking for. Just sort of moving in a direction. Wherever the gods will us.
You are not speaking in metaphor.
I have no fucking clue. I have these. And I pull out the shadow kopeshes.
I see you.
Shadow Masters kopeshes, I should say.
Yes, you've encountered some, I suppose, for one such as yourself, formidable creatures and seem to have survived.
Oh, this guy was easy. He's not what did this.
Well, I am still waiting for the response of what you seek and what you have to offer for hospitality.
I offered these blades.
Mm,
What we seek. Again, I did answer that question.
so who can answer more clearly? Come now. There must be something. Even if it is not something that you seek directly here, there is something that you seek.
We're trying to leave.
We are looking for someone who was taken. Flame
They can
Keep
help us leave.
was sucked into Fernia. And an important member was a member of the silver flame was taken. We are looking for her.
I suppose it is no coincidence that you have come just days after a cathedral appeared not too far away from here. Is this the thing that you are seeking out, this cathedral?
Where is this cathedral?
And we just came from the cathedral, right? Oh no, wait, the cathedral was stripped out of the city. Was that right?
Mm-hmm.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes, the cathedral is what we're looking for.
You should know that it is surrounded by a wall of black flame, and above it is a swirling vortex of darkness lit by volleys of green lightning.
Can we drive one of your cars through it?
Well, I can't say, but I might have something that I can offer to guide you on your journey if that is the place that you seek.
Ultimately, yes.
Well, I don't know if this is something already known to you, but I am a creature of prophecy. I have sight that gives me the ability to see the strings of fate and where they lie. I can use this power, but it will come with a price, a small price, one that is easy for you to pay.
Do you ever use this power for yourself?
It is not that simple. Powers such as these require offerings, and it is not so much a necessity for me to see the strings of fate in the way that it guides mortal lives. So the offering for such powers, well, I am a creature of legends, myths, stories. Prophecy is driven by stories. And so in order to gain the ability to see one story more clearly, I need other stories in return. Like I said, it is a small price, easily paid. I just need some of your stories for you to speak these stories. And then they are weighed against the prophecy that you seek. And then if the weight is equal, then the information is shared.
Who does this weighing exactly?
The strands of fate. I am but the guide for these powers, a conduit.
I see. These fates, you don't communicate with them directly.
Fate is not a creature to communicate with. It is not a sentience. It is a quality, an emergent property of the planes and existence, mortality.
No, I heard a saying once. Destiny. Wrong hand. Destiny is what the gods choose for you. Fate is what happens when you ignore it. So what is it that you look at exactly? Fate or destiny?
They are not quite different. The gods, let's be honest, the gods do not exist. There are no higher creatures determining the way that things happen. They are not creatures playing games of chess with mortals.
I just look to Lux. You might want to take Solomon away.
No, life, creation, it's all a tapestry of movement. And so these things, they are predestined. Everything that happens has already been determined and laid out before us. It's just a matter of how much we understand. I can provide that understanding.
You know,
In order to do so, though, much as you follow the strings in a tapestry to know where it goes, to understand the tapestry, you must see first where it has been to get a wholer picture of what it is. Something more complete. Through that, I can see better what lies ahead of you.
happen to agree with you, partially. But as far as the tapestry goes, you could always burn it.
Any try.
Just takes one sufficiently dumb enough, perhaps. Could be a good word.
So, we can arrange for you to provide stories at some point, and then I can provide my visions if that is amenable to you.
Possibly.
Look,
Could we
this is-
negotiate a rest?
Well, if you wish to rest, that would be a different price. What is it that you have to offer to trade in order for respite?
I redirect your attention to these swords.
I have no use for those swords.
You don't, but somebody under your employ might. Begnag, you're a salesman. Go for it. Sell these kopeshes.
I will trade your respite in order to see and study the bindings upon your skulls.
Non-invasive, I hope.
Oh, you will not feel a thing.
That doesn't
Oh,
answer.
trust me, I haven't for a while.
That doesn't make it non-invasive.
I will not need to touch you.
That is a fair trade.
Well, there goes that.
Maybe.
Says Begnag, who doesn't have.
Yeah,
Your marks are all very similar. I would only need to study it from one of you. I would not need to see it from each.
Okay, fine.
All right, Alyssa, go ahead.
Maybe two.
Start with Alyssa.
Lux will volunteer.
Yes. And I'm sorry, what was your name again?
Names aren't important. Don't worry about it.
Names are very important. It is respectful.
Is it?
This is Joe Farr.
All right. I will refer to you as Joe Farr. So, Joe Farr, you have offered yourself for this examination.
Yeah.
Excellent. We will do it in the morning. For now, I can see that you are all very weary and need rest. You are mortal creatures, so I will make sure our red caps provide fresh water and bread. We don't have very much in terms of food, but what we do have, we can offer.
Aren't red caps mushrooms? Fry a couple of them up. I didn't roll well. I don't know that a red cap is a mushroom.
Oh, my red caps, they're my servants. They are the ones that take care of this place for me. Oh! And that's the guy next to her suddenly bellowing out, "Shut up, Mickey!"
Do you want him to?
Yes.
To shut up? That seemed like that was the whole thing was for him to be suffering.
Oh, yes. I love to hear the screams of suffering. But when it is appropriate, now we are doing business and trade. This is not the time for pleasure, as I'm sure you are aware, my little merchant of metal.
Tries to,
Of course.
I guess, old
I
Mordain.
don't know the meaning. I don't know the meaning of pleasure.
Oh, I'm sure that's quite untrue.
Sure, she could fix that.
Come, let me have my red caps show you to your quarters. Do not leave the quarters. At least, do not go far. And stay out of rooms that are closed. You may endanger yourselves if you were to open them.
Of course.
Mm-hmm.
Needle will stay with you as well, should you require anything. Needle will let me know. And then one of the ravens up on her shoulders goes, "Caw!"
Got any neighbors to wake up yet?
I mean, this place is pretty soundproof, but I don't know if Lisa appreciates it, so I might have to. Yeah, I might have to bring it down a bit.
All right. I Ewan just thinks internally just that they does not trust the fucking bird at all.
Okay.
That's what he's too fucking tired right now. A whole conversation with this fucking crazy bastard. It's time to sleep.
So, is there anything else that you guys want to do before the red caps show you to your room?
Does she just walk away, or?
No, she doesn't walk away. She watches you guys as you leave with the red caps.
Right. Then no, I'm not going to do anything extra. She doesn't follow or anything.
No.
I'd be curious to see where she goes, or where did we get to see where she came from?
Just a dark hallway. It's
Okay.
Pitch black beyond the entrance, so you can't see anything down that hallway. And it's not the direction where the red caps are leading you.
Okay.
So the red caps lead you down a corridor. The rest of the place, as far as you can see, is pretty much just as messy as the garage. It looks like there's refuse everywhere in terms of scrap metal and papers and then other more bodily sources of unpleasantness. So the smells are pretty bad, but you do notice that here inside the structure, it's not as completely terribly hot as it is outside. So that is one bit of respite that you guys are able to be a little bit more comfortable where the heat is more tolerable. And then they show you to a room. The room, you see a few red caps popping in and out, bringing cots one for each of you, as well as 3 pitchers of water and 4 loaves of bread. And then once everything is set up, other than that, it's a pretty plain room. No windows or anything like that. And then they kind of take off.
So whenever they drop the stuff off, I'll tell them, hey, not enough, bring more.
Fuck you.
Bring more. Do as your fucking master says.
My master says what she said.
Yeah, she said to bring us water and bread. This isn't enough water and bread.
You hear him grumbling under his breath.
I promise you don't want to make her mad at you.
I promise you I'll stab you in your sleep.
You could certainly try. I wouldn't advise it.
And then he kind of just drops his shoulders and sulks away.
Good boy.
Begnag is going to walk up and inspect this bread. Because he would never expect bread in the hells. So he's just taking a look at it and seeing if it's got if it's demonic or anything.
But would Begnag notice the bread since Begnag doesn't really need to eat?
I mean he would notice it. He doesn't need to eat, but that doesn't mean that it's still not an out of place thing for this environment.
Okay.
Everybody else around him is eating all the time, right?
You can do an investigation check.
Man, I'm rolling like shit tonight.
Doesn't seem anything out of the ordinary. Seems like a normal piece of bread. It's a little stale, but
It
not.
bakes real fast here.
Yeah. It's not moldy or anything like that.
Interesting. Who would have thought? Bread and Fernia. What is this world coming to?
Well, it tastes like dirt, but I'll take a bite out of it.
It tastes like pretty tough French baguette.
Yep. It's fine. You gotta do what you gotta do, so.
So in my smoke-induced state, I'm going to see if I can recall any information about hags and what they meant by if they know your name. Like if you say your name, like sounds like some kind of like you're bound to them, but like what does that really mean?
Mm-hmm. You can do a religion check. So that's a piece of lore that you haven't necessarily heard associated with hags. And your religious training and also your experiences within the church haven't really talked much about hags outside of that they are, much as Mad Maggie claimed, creatures of prophecy and fate. So what are your thoughts about the things that she's looking to trade and all that stuff?
Well,
All she wants is a story. That means she's gonna do something fucking with it.
so I guess Lux's thought is that we have this mark on our forehead, so our souls are bound, or what she was saying, like seems like we're bound to somebody. Right? Like our souls are bound to somebody. Now, if she learns our name, does we become bound to her, and that does that turn into a conflict?
Well, we weren't necessarily advised to not give our names. We were advised to not speak our names.
Right, but I'm saying, like, what's the consequence of that? Does it then become in conflict with the two?
Who knows? I mean, she kept asking in a very specific way. May I have your name? As if we would be giving it to her, and it would no longer be ours.
Right.
So
I guess I'm thinking more along the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
right. That was what I was hoping to, convey whenever I said that there might be somebody trying to make a power move in the area. Is the Raven still in the room?
It's perched outside of it.
I'm gonna make sure.
And you guys have a door that can close. It's just a matter of opening it, and it's got there's one of those T-shaped perches that is kind of just sitting on.
I don't want to hear us talking, so.
Well, the door is shut, so I mean, if you guys whisper, you're reasonably sure that it can't hear you, but you don't know if it has any kind of supernatural capacities or if there are any magical sensors in here that would reveal what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean, at the moment, all we know of is the bird, and I don't imagine that wizard familiars are uncommon. So that would be a thought.
Mm-hmm.
And Begnag's gonna do a search, just a cursory search for peepholes.
Okay. Give me an investigation.
I'd help, but
Hey.
I'm gonna send you a message. All right.
Um, so Begnag is gonna like look around and let's see, do I have? Yeah, Begnag's gonna look around and he like pulls from like his belt one of his daggers, and he's kind of like fingering it, and then he all of a sudden he whips around and he throws it at the corner, and I'm gonna try to hit that peephole.
All right. Give me an attack roll.
Let's see.
Crit fail people.
It wasn't a people. It was Ewan.
Dr. Sheev.
So the dagger flies true straight into the peephole, embedding itself up to the hilt into the wall, and you hear a I shouldn't be so loud. And then the dagger pulls away, coated in blood, and then you hear a slam as the wall behind the peephole shuts firm. And through the wall for a moment more, you can hear like what sounds like one of these red caps fumbling around, knocking into things and continuing to curse.
Serves him right.
Indeed.
That the wall is a little bit different than the rest. I noticed a little unwanted eye peeking at us.
Go look. Does it move? The whole wall?
No, not the whole wall. It looks like there is just a small like peephole in there. Then that it's hard to see from outside of it unless you know what to look for.
Mm-hmm.
Which can easily be covered by something else, like one of the cots or like something that you guys have or a chair or something. So you can put something in the way of it.
Probably, to be sure. Ewan is definitely late. So that'll be somebody else's job.
Yeah, Begnag would barricade it with something. I don't know. Is there any simple furniture in here? Like a table or yeah. So I'd barricade it with a table, like a nightstand.
All right, so you guys barricade the wall to make sure that any further intrusion is not happened. A few minutes later, somebody opens up the door, and it's it's a red cap who has brought in a couple additional slices of bread. You notice that he has a wound on his eye. It seems to be closing up fairly quickly, but he's still bleeding from it a bit.
So whenever he, I'm laying down, but like when he just opens the door and just walks in, I'm like, the fuck's wrong with you? Don't you knock?
Fuck you.
All right, that'll be the last of you. I promise you.
Eat shit and die, motherfucker. I'll kill you in your sleep.
I'm gonna tell the hag.
Slip a stiletto right in between your ribs. Drink the
about the one
blood
that was
right
in
from
your-
your lungs.
What about the one that was in your eye?
I'll get you back for that one too.
Get the fuck out of here.
The red cap.
We know how to talk to each other.
Just before he leaves, he pauses, and he kind of bends over, and then he lets rip the longest fart, and then he leaves and shuts the door behind him.
2 out of 10. No substance.
It smells really bad, and it's one of those that lingers for a bit. Like it's almost clinging to the floor.
Sure. We were gonna have to deal with that no matter what. So
Thankfully, Begnag can't breathe. Or eat or drink, so he doesn't taste it or smell it or anything. Totally immune.
Hey, Lux, let me get a hint of that.
Yeah, I pass it over.
I'll dull the senses. And then pass the fuck out.
All right. So, is there anything else that you guys are going to do before you take a long rest then? All right.
No.
Put up watches.
So who's going to be on first watch?
I mean, do we need to necessarily do watches? Because Begnag doesn't sleep.
It's true.
He's just inert and he's not unconscious. So he is just,
As long as you're aware at all times, then
yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the benefits of being a Warforged. So Begnag is, as long as you're wanting and willing, you could just keep watch over everybody and be the guardian.
Begnag would. So everybody could just sleep.
What does Begnag do to keep himself busy usually when most people are sleeping?
He's trying to come up with new Ponzi schemes and on how to penetrate new markets. He's in some ways he's kind of undergoing a period of suffering from being in this place with his suffering be rewarded by a sweet contract with the Church of the Silver Flame. So he would be thinking about how great business is going to be when we get back and we he can be a hero who helps save the Flame Keep.
So
but on the
Begnag,
back burner, he's thinking about, I might be able to make some deals with that hag.
So for Begnag, it's just dollar bills, y'all.
Pretty much. he's really thinking. He's thinking about business and his business strategy.
So I think that's a good natural stopping point. How do you guys feel for the night?
I would say so. That makes sense.
Yeah.
So what do you think about the session tonight? I feel like I'm a bit rusty because it's been a while, but what did you guys think?
Seemed fine.
It's good.
Yeah, I mean, we were down some players, so you really can't get too far ahead and get too involved. But
There was some definite moments for Solomon there. So
yeah, that could have gone completely sideways.
I really liked how Peter, you were like immediately put your hand over Solomon's mouth.
I thought it was good. I felt a little rusty. Unfortunately I didn't have notes, at least at the ready, of kind of like general goals. So I forgot. So I felt bad for asking that.
No, I mean, that's a fair thing, especially since it's been a while. And then also with your character, it makes a little bit more sense since you joined a bit late. So the goals and the intentions might not have been as clear for your character, which fits in with your character.
Yeah.
But everybody had a fun time. Everybody enjoyed it. I thought it also was interesting to have a session without any kind of combat or needing to fight for your lives.
Oh, we're right on the cusp of it.
Yeah, I thought it was going to happen a couple times.
I'm sitting here dealing with one arm, but I still have hostiles around me at all times.
Speaking of which, since you're doing a long rest, give me a Constitution save.
So am I at 3 levels?
Would that normally affect saving throws?
Yeah.
Do it at regular without disadvantage.
All right.
Okay.
Nice.
So you're able to, the next morning, you'll have half your hit points rather than just 1 hit point. You'll still have the 3 levels of exhaustion, but now you are getting a little bit more of your energy back.
Got half a hit point?
So I will have 34 hit points.
How long do your temp HP last? Is there a time limit where that lasts?
I figured it would go away after a long rest, but I don't remember what I used to give me those specific ones.
Oh yeah, it definitely goes away after a long rest, but I was just wondering with your pugilist abilities. Because you still can benefit from your 10 hit points.
Right. Right. Yeah. No. Normally, I think it's just after a long rest. Looking at the bloody but unbowed, it just says you can use your reaction to gain temporary hit points, and you regain all your moxie. You can only use the feature once every rest, short or long.
Okay.
Brace up is just you gain that many temporary hit points. That's it. Those are the 2 things they give me. Temporary hit points.
Mm-hmm.
And they just are there till they go away. It doesn't actually say long rest either, but I figured a long rest probably would make.
Yeah, I mean, it's a natural stopping point for the temp hit points.
Yeah.
All right. So everybody expecting to be good in 2 weeks then?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yep, I'll be around.
All right. Well, thanks everybody. It was good being able to play and get back into it. Hopefully we can get back on a regular schedule.
Yeah, it was
Get
good.
everybody back. Yeah.
I do know, oh, you know what, since we're talking about it, the October, wait, are we even playing them? So October 12th, we might not be playing because that's mine and Lisa's the day before our anniversary. But we'll see.
What does that have to do with D&D?
Well, we're heading out of town, but we might not be heading out that night, but maybe.
Gotcha.
All right.
All right.
Speaking of out of town, Gen Con this weekend.
Are they still having it?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Shay and I forgot to push our tickets back to next year, so we're going.
Oh wow. Be careful.
We got a B&B, and yeah, they have already sent out their things like masks required at all times,
Mhm.
all that jazz.
Well, have fun and stay safe.
Yeah.
Yeah, once this whole thing finally gets under control, hopefully we can do our planned Gen Con outing, because that would still be awesome.
Definitely.
It'll happen
Yeah.
one of these years.
Mhm.
It's only once a year, so it's gotta be a thing.
All right, everybody. You
All right,
guys have a
guys.
good night.
All
Have a
right.
good night.
Take it easy.